Hi, welcome to the video. I'm Dame and this is Dame Over. And friends, I have some very important news for you in terms of what's happening with the channel for the foreseeable future. This is a video that I've been putting off making for quite a while now, actually, and I'll explain all the reasons why. But what I'm going to do to begin with is in the first few minutes, just give you the very important points and exactly what's happening. And then I'll go into all the reasons why a little bit later on. So within the first few minutes of video, you'll get all the information you need. So you can just stop watching if you want to. That's totally fine. But if you want to find out the rest of everything else, keep watching. So the most important part is that I am yet again going away for work. But this time I'm going back on a cruise ship. So that begins on January the 11th. So it's very, very soon from when this video is going out. I'm currently recording it at 8 PM on the 17th of December. So whenever you watch this video, you'll have some context into why. I might have spoken to you on stream before that. But yeah, I'm back on another cruise ship contract. Being a performer again starts in January the 11th, and I don't get back until December the 1st, 2025. Now, if any of you guys remember just before COVID, when I was on a cruise ship, things with the channel had to completely stop because I just physically cannot do it. There is no way that I can bring a setup. There's no way that I've got internet that's nearly good enough to even put out any videos or anything like that. It's just simply not actually feasible as much as I would love to continue making content. So yeah, it is a hard stop for the channel, unfortunately. And it's not a move that I've wanted to take. Quite frankly, and along with lots of other life things that have linked in, this is actually the most sensible choice for me and seems like at the moment the only choice I really have for everything to move forwards. And what I mean by that is that this house, this really terrible studio setup that I've not sorted out in 3 years that Tony gets so annoyed about. Luke and I bought this house just after the second lockdown in 2021. And we had always had the plan that we would buy this place together, make some money from it, sell it on, and then we'd be able to go our separate ways of where we were living, right? He wants to buy a place with his girlfriend as soon as they get back from their cruise ship contract, which is in February. And basically, I need as much money as I can get within the year so that when I get back, I'm able to be in a good position myself so that I can then go and get my own place. So we're basically trying to sort all of that out. I also cannot, for the life of me, no matter how many auditions I go to and how hard I try, I can't get another job within the performing industry. Jobs are very, very difficult to come by at the moment. So any acting work, whether it be stage or screen, is very difficult to get. The competition is as difficult and as high as ever. There's an oversaturated market with thousands and thousands of incredibly talented people. So it's very, very difficult to get overlooked. And it's also very easy for the people that run these things to find people that are a better fit rather than people that can just tick the box and be good enough. So unfortunately, over the past couple of years, those sorts of things haven't really gone my way, which is just how it is. So I was able to go back to the people it's for Royal Caribbean, this one. I was able to go back to them and say, I would like to do this contract. And it lines up really well with what's happening with the house and all of that stuff. So it just seemed like a no-brainer, basically, to take that. Like I say, it's not something that I want to do. I would love to be at home. But in all honesty, for the past year and a half, 2 years that I've been out of acting work, apart from quite recently when things have luckily sort of come together a bit more for me, I have been massively chasing my tail in terms of making enough money to just basically survive. The world is getting more and more expensive, as I'm sure all of you know. My mortgage, for instance, went up last time I remortgaged it. Bills are getting more expensive. Food is abominably expensive in the UK right now, as you guys in the States are fully aware because it's worse for you. So even just being able to scrape by has been really, really difficult and has been a huge source of anxiety and stress for me. Tying that in with the way that YouTube currently is for my channel, the way that the Battlefield scene is, unfortunately my channel is sort of stuck in that loop. It means that there is so much riding on it being successful for me to be able to continue doing it, and that's just not how it should be. I am luckily now in a position where I could earn enough money month to month where I would actually be okay, but again it would still be on a knife's edge. This way I'll be able to go and do this contract It's the most I'm ever going to be paid for anything. Go and do this contract, come back, have my life set up in a way that I need it to be, basically, for the future. And I'll be able to have more time because I've got money. I'll buy myself literally time to be able to invest more into YouTube, into streaming, and continue with this community that I absolutely adore, and I hate the thought of leaving you guys. But that's essentially what it is. In terms, for me, money equals time that I'm able to do stuff like this. Like, you guys know that whenever I'm not working, I'm streaming. Unless there's something super urgent that I need to take care of. It's my first thought whenever I've got no other commitments outside of streaming at all, then I'll 100% do this. Even if there's a spare couple of hours in the day, I will try and stream. So it's definitely something that I would like to continue doing. And I want to improve the setup, improve the user experience, improve everything for you guys. But again, I need time and money to do that. And you may have noticed in the recent times for the channel as well, I did have an acting job for a couple of months where I was in Leicester. I was coming back every weekend. I've spoken to most of you guys about that have watched the stream. And that was really cool. That was really fun, but it wasn't very well paid, unfortunately. So I kind of had to accept this contract. And the reason I didn't want to tell you guys until now is because I've mentioned my shoulder injury. This bad boy has been hurting me for a really, really long time, the better part of a year so far. And it was one of the reasons why I couldn't accept the contract, because you need to pass a medical examination. And my blood tests were coming up with creatinine, which is a byproduct of when your muscles work. And it's processed through your blood by your kidneys. So if you have too much creatinine in your blood, it suggests kidney failure. But it can also happen if A, you take creatine, which I was doing a lot of at the time because I was in the gym a lot. And B, if you have a muscular injury, which is exactly the problem that I have, because it's just producing too much because it's injured. So until that got approved, I didn't want to make this video because I wasn't 100% sure I was going to go. So that has now happened. I've now got no excuse, and I do actually have to leave and fulfill my contractual obligations. I know some of you guys are going to say, oh, why can't Luke look after the channel? Well, feasibly, that's just not going to happen anyway, because A, he doesn't have any interest in doing it, and B, I don't trust him not to set fire to the computer somehow just by turning it on. But C, number 3 point Trace, he, like I said, is looking to buy a place with his girlfriend. He is, as much as possible, not going to be in this house and not going to be on my setup or anywhere near it. So it's not even possible. So unfortunately, like I said at the beginning of the video, it is a dead stop. Now, I'm happy to chat to you guys about all of these things, but I think I've outlined the main points, basically. But the resounding thing for me is that I am at a point in my life where I really need to look after myself and set myself up for the future. I don't have a partner. I don't have anyone else that I can sort of do this with. So this is sort of like a quick money-making scheme because it's over the course of a year. So I will be making enough that when I come home, I will be able to do what needs to be done in terms of getting my own property, possibly, and being able to, like I say, buy myself time so I can look for other work and do all of those things, etc., etc. I really do mean this. I do not want to go. If I had any other choice, I wouldn't. If I could get any other job, even if it paid less, much, much less, because they would, even if it paid much less, but it meant that I was at home in the UK, I 100% would be doing it. It's just, unfortunately, that's the lay of the land at the moment, and that's just how things are in the industry in which I work. Now, what I can tell you is my thoughts for the future when I do get back and what I plan on doing. So knowing what happened last time after I went on this cruise and came back, it was basically like starting the channel from scratch, which is essentially what's going to happen. So I know it's going to be an uphill struggle, but what I would like to do, given the time, which hopefully I should have, and like I say, because I will be, again, earning money when I get back and have some saved up, I would like to basically start YouTube from scratch with everything that I know, keeping the same channel, and just hoping that it kicks off. So I'm going to be putting out loads of videos. I'm going to be streaming a bit more, less frequently, but at more choice times and for shorter amount of times as well. Streaming on YouTube, as we all know, is a bit of a rough one. So I want to kind of curate that experience as much as possible so that it's as fun for you guys as it can be. It's as fun for me as it can be, and it makes sense in terms of the amount of time put in to what you get out of it. Hopefully things will change when it comes to streaming on YouTube when I do get back. The new Battlefield will be out. Delta Force might have like another few DLCs or whatever. There will be options, but what I would like to do is move the channel away from Battlefield, because I haven't had any fun with Battlefield since 2019. So what's the point in flogging a dead horse? The fact that Battlefield 1 is still the thing that attracts most people to my channel 8 is on after it is just so baffling, and I genuinely have zero fun when I play it. 100% truth. I have zero fun when I play that game, but you guys seem to like it most. So that might mean losing some long-term subscribers, it might mean losing support from you guys, and that is totally fine. If you don't want to watch the content, that is cool. But if that is the case, if you are around and you see a video pop up and you think it might be interesting, or you see that I'm streaming and you want to come and say hi, please do. It'd be lovely to have you there. Of course it will, and it's always nice to see friendly names in the chat. It does genuinely give a little boost to my day. And I think that's probably everything I need to say about that. So I don't know what the timeline is for when we are exactly going to stop having content coming out to you guys. I say we, when I'm going to do it, because at the moment as well, what I'm doing is sorting out everything with the house as much as I can, packing up my entire life and working out what I'm going to do when I leave. So I need to do as much of the renovations as possible in the house on my own before Luke gets back, so he has as little to do as possible. And I need to also pack up my entire life just in case we sell the house while I'm away, because then it can either go into storage or Luke can look after it. Whatever happens in terms of that will happen. So I'm essentially renovating a house and moving house at exactly the same time, and I have less than a month to get all of those things finished, and I'm probably about a third of the way through it all, just because of the way that timeline has worked. And as well, like I mentioned before, money, not having money freely available to pay for stuff has been really, really difficult. Even going to buy paint, like for the last couple of weeks, I've had to wait until I've got paid till I can go and buy a £30 can of paint. That's how close to the line I've sort of been living. So I'm looking forward, first of all, to seeing the world again. The itinerary, in case you guys are really interested, for this cruise is insane. I start by flying out to Singapore, and the ship will go to Japan, it goes to Malaysia, goes to Singapore as well. We go to New Zealand, Australia, Hawaii, Alaska. It goes out of Seattle for like 4 months, which is really cool. So if any of you guys in the US are around in Seattle and you want to meet up for a coffee, that would be cool. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty wild ride, but again, one, like I say, that I'm not particularly enamored with, but I feel like it is the only sensible choice in terms of my life, and also in terms of Luke's life as well, because I don't want to interrupt everything that he wants to do by stopping myself from going on this job. So it makes sense for the both of us, basically. The only people really losing out are you guys with the content, which kind of sucks. So like I say, I'm looking forward to seeing all those places that I'm never going to see otherwise. I'm looking forward to when I come back being reinvigorated and really wanting to make loads and loads of content and get that out to you guys as much as possible. And I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I have no idea how things are going to go, but I would love to see you guys leaving comments, watching videos in the streams, whatever it is. But in the meantime, we do have Discord, and I will do my best to try and post updates and show you what's going on with my life. And I kind of feel like I'm also at a point where I need to have a fresh start Firstly, my first priority is sorting out my shoulder injury because it's meant that I can't exercise properly for the longest time, and I am almost constantly in pain, which is maybe why I've been a little bit irritable on streams. I don't know. I'm sure any of you guys that have a chronic illness or injury or something like that can relate, but it's absolutely exhausting, and I'm looking forward to that being gone because I don't feel like myself if I'm not able to move as much as I want. And even just like reaching over the other side of the bed so I can pick up my phone from the nightstand before I get up hurts abominably. And doing that first thing in the morning is never fun. I'm looking forward to streaming as much as I can over the Christmas and New Year period as well. Like I say, as much content as I can get out to you guys. And lastly, but most importantly, I wanted to thank you, all of you guys, for all of the support, all of the love, all of the views, and for those of you guys that do actually support in a monetary fashion, thank you so much for making this possible. I'm sure you've seen my reaction sometimes to people supporting, and it has been an emotional one, and I can feel that building up right now. It means so much that you think the ridiculous, stupid, idiotic content that I put out just to try and entertain you guys for a few hours is meaningful enough to you and to other people that you want to part with your own money for it when you could just watch it for free. So it means so much that you make that choice, and you are the reason, those of you guys that have supported, you are the reason, every single one of you, little or big in terms of your support, are the reason that it has been possible and I have been able to continue doing this for as long as I have been doing it. It literally translates into things like me being able to buy food that week, or me being able to pay whatever bill that I need to pay. And at one point, it was my sole source of income, which was fantastic. So when I get back, when we start putting the content out again, I'm going to do everything I can so that I don't have to rely on that. And it's views from videos and all that sort of stuff that will do all of that work. But a really, really big shout out, especially to Ariosto and the Mitis, for all of your support, because it has been absolutely phenomenal. Not forgetting everyone else that has supported as well, but these guys have really, really tried to keep the channel running as much as they can. And it's been an insane amount of money that you parted with, and I am forever grateful to you because of all the reasons I just said. As I am equally as grateful to everyone else, whether you've only donated £1, $1, €1, or 20 freaking rupees. Like, in a realistic sense, it means something else, but to me, emotionally, it means just as much, whether it's the tiniest amount that you can support or the biggest amount that you can. It all means so very much. So thank you for another really, really great year. I wish you guys all the best and all the love I have in my heart for everything that you do and everything that you get up to. I can't wait to hear about all of it in the Discord. If you see this before Christmas, have a really merry, happy Christmas. Be kind to yourself. Have a happy new year. And if you watch this video afterwards, I hope all of those things were great. And please, all of you, be good to yourselves. Look after yourselves physically and emotionally. And until December 2025, that's game over. Peace.